If a T-Rex appeared in North America today, could it cut through the whole food chain and take the continent back? Right now, you've only just broken out of your shell, and you recognize this place at a glance. The Lamar Valley in Yellowstone. You're under a meter long and weigh about as much as a medium dog. You don't know yet what you are, but the genes of a 66-million-year-old apex predator are already stirring inside you, a promise that you were never meant to be ordinary. This is the open grassland they call America's Serengeti, crowded with wolf packs and bison herds. None of that is on your mind right now. Your first enemy isn't a hunter, it's the air. The first breath you pull in is wrong. This body was tuned for the air of the late Cretaceous. 66 million years ago, the world was warm and wet, its carbon dioxide far higher than today's, the air heavier and more humid. What fills your lungs now belongs to a world that has cooled and dried for tens of millions of years. Thin, cold, and strange. Then the hunger hits, so you follow your nose out of the trees. Smell is the one sense you can trust here. The part of your brain wired for scent is enormous, and right now it is screaming a single word: eat. You find a marmot at the edge of a boulder field, fat from the late-season grass, sluggish in the cold morning. You don't charge. Some old part of you already knows better. You lower your head, set each foot down soft, and close the gap one slow step at a time, staying downwind, until the distance is nothing at all. Then you strike. Your jaws catch the marmot across the back, its neck snaps sideways, and one hard shake ends it before it understands it's been caught. You eat fast, swallowing in heaving gulps, and for a few minutes the burning in your gut goes quiet. For prey this size, young as you are, you already kill clean. A few days later, still not really fed, you drift down out of the rocks and onto the open floor of the valley. Flat, exposed grassland that runs all the way to the distant riverbank. Nowhere to hide, nothing to break your line of sight. It's just past noon when you spot a lone gray wolf out in the open. A mammal alone must be a meal. You make the obvious mistake and you charge. The wolf's first reaction is not contempt, it's fear. Something older than memory reads the shape coming at it. The forward-facing eyes, the open jaws, a whole body built around one purpose. Every instinct says run, and the wolf runs, breaking sideways across the slope. You wheel to follow. And that is where the wolf learns the truth. It cuts left, hard and tight, the way it would slip a bear or a rival. You try to match the turn, and can't. Your body is long, your legs are long, and you come around like a ship while the wolf pivots like a knife. The fear starts to drain away. The wolf tests the turn again, closer this time, and watches that huge head swing around a full beat too late. Now it understands. Whatever you are, you cannot corner, and a predator that cannot corner can be taken apart. The wolf stops running. It starts hunting. It darts in at your back leg, bites, tears, and is gone before your head can drop. Then again, from the other side, you spin after a shape that is never where your jaws arrive. In under 3 minutes, there's a row of deep cuts down your legs and flank, and you haven't landed a single bite. The wolf presses in, sensing the kill, herding you toward the broken ground at the valley edge. That is the moment something else wakes up. Cornered, bleeding, out of room, and 100 million years of killing instinct fires at once. As the wolf commits to one more pass, you don't turn to bite. You drop your weight and throw your entire tail through the space the wolf is running into. The heavy base of it catches the wolf across the ribs and slams it off its feet, rolling into the dirt. The wolf scrambles up, winded, one side gone stiff, and for the first time, it stops. It looks at you, bleeding and barely hatched, and does the math a wolf always does. How much food, at what cost? It decides this stranger costs too much. It backs off slow, eyes locked, then turns and trots away across the valley. You don't chase. You stand there shaking, cut to ribbons, but still on your feet. Lesson 1. In this world, the old name means nothing. You earn the ground every single day. Your cuts close over the next weeks, but the deeper problem doesn't. It isn't that you can't catch anything. It's that the only animals you can kill outright are small, and everything worth a real meal is big. Bison, elk, full-grown and dangerous. At this size you know, without being taught, not to close that distance yet, and the open ground sprinters you can't run down at all. A white-tailed deer goes from still to highway speed in 2 seconds and leaves you standing in the dust. So you stop throwing yourself at chases you can't win. You scavenge, you watch, and you do the one thing nothing else in this valley can match. You grow. Years pass, and the animal that comes back to the riverbank is a different one. You're 6 meters now, well over a ton, with a bite that has climbed from a hatchling's pinch to something near 15,000 newtons. Enough to break a leg, though not yet enough to end a big animal in one closure. You've watched this bank long enough to know the bison come down to the same shallow bend to drink, and one morning you get there first, low in the reeds, downwind, dead still. The bull that wanders in is 800 kilograms of muscle and bad temper. You break cover inside 5 meters, but the bison is already turning, already running, and instead of the throat, your jaws close on the back of a hind leg. Even that tears a scream out of it. Your bite force alone buckles the leg under it, but 800 kilos in full panic is a weapon of its own. The bull kicks back with everything it has and catches you square in the chest, staggering you 3 steps. You don't let go of the hunt. You come again and again, while the ruined leg drags and the blood runs, and the bull's own weight turns against it. It takes far too long. By the time the bison finally goes down, you're bruised, blown, and certain of one thing: a bite that can cripple an animal this size still can't kill one outright. The strength is coming. It just isn't all the way here. Then the snow comes, and the Cretaceous never had a winter like this. The cold isn't an inconvenience to you. It's a slow shutdown. Your body doesn't manufacture its own heat the way the wolves do. It borrows warmth from the world around you, and when the world turns to ice and the temperature drops past -15, there is nothing left to borrow. Your muscles stiffen, your mind goes thick and slow. Dying on your feet, you do the only thing instinct has left. You hunt for heat. You follow a thread of sulfur on the wind, and the one stretch of ground the snow won't hold, stumbling through a frozen geyser basin until the steam of a hot spring finally reaches you, and there you collapse. For 3 months, you lie against that heat like a stone, watching wolves run easy over snow you cannot cross, living on the frozen birds that drop dead at the water's edge. The modern world walks through this season. You barely crawl out the far side of it. But you crawl out, and past the worst filter this land has, the real weapon finally switches on. Most predators here hit a size and stop. You don't. 2.5 meters in the first year, 5 by the third, 8 by the fifth. Your lungs catch up to the thin air. Your slender cutting teeth fall out and grow back thick and deep-rooted, built now not to slice, but to crush. By year 10, you stand 13 meters long and weigh around 9 tons, and you hide from nothing. One afternoon, ranging far north of the valley where you hatched, you catch something on the wind. A sound first, then a smell. You turn toward it and walk, and as the scent of blood thickens, the walk stretches into a stride. You come out of the tree line into a clearing and find the source. A brown bear, one of the largest in the region, hunched over a fresh-killed elk. The bear rears up and roars, big, loud, the oldest threat it owns. Be the most frightening thing here. And the other animal leaves. But that threat was written for this world, and there is no entry in it for you, now stepping into the clearing. You don't roar back. 9 tons move forward faster than 9 tons should, and before the bear can finish its swing, your jaws close over its shoulders and neck. There is no contest, no second round. The bear's whole body shudders once, the light leaves its eyes slowly, and it dies without ever understanding what it had met. After that, you stop staying in the empty places. A thing this size can't. You only move forward, and you have to keep killing to keep moving. Your range spreads out of the mountains and down toward the edges of human country, and then into it. On a fenced grazing range one morning, cattle are found dead or simply gone, beside tracks no one can place. Ranchers out before first light feel the ground shift under their boots and can't say why. The reports start small and local, and then they stop being local. Wildlife officers, then state troopers, then men with much heavier equipment begin moving toward a stretch of country no one will name on the record yet, and at dusk, far ahead of all of them, you climb a high ridge and look down on a land with nothing left on it that can kill you. You open the jaws that finally learn to break bone and send a roar out over a world that is only now beginning to remember what the Cretaceous felt like.